Hey coin hunters, before you throw that old penny in the drawer, what if I told you one 1975 Lincoln penny could be worth thousands, or even millions in rare cases? Exploding Head today, we're uncovering the truth behind one of America's most misunderstood coins, the 1975 Lincoln penny. Stay with me if you want to turn pocket change into serious money. 1975 Lincoln penny, worth big money? History and background. 031 to 2 o'clock. The Lincoln penny has been the backbone of U.S. coinage since 1909. But by 1975, these tiny copper cents were just everyday money, used to buy gum and gumballs. Nearly 10 billion of these pennies were made at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, and for the most part they're common and worth very little in everyday change. Rarest.org, standard market value, 201 to 330. So let's talk real numbers. In average condition, the kind you find in your pocket, a 1975 penny is only worth its face value, 1 cent. Coin trackers, but don't scroll past yet. If your penny hasn't been worn down and still has its original color and detail, it might be worth more. Certified coins graded by companies up to $18 to $30 for uncirculated examples. Coin trackers, one example of a high-grade 1975 penny. Graded EMS 68 red. Actually sold at auction for around $9,000. Coin trackers show a dynamic auction graphic with $9,000 popping up. Rare errors that can skyrocket value, 331 to 6 o'clock. Now here's the exciting part: errors. Show error coin images, double die, off-center, etc. Most 1975 pennies are common, but unusual mint mistakes can transform a penny into collector gold. Errorcoins.org, here are a few to look for. Pushpin, double die /DDO/DDR, lettering or dates that look doubled. This can be appealing to collectors. Coin trackers pushpin a struck on the wrong planchet, like a dime blank. These rare oddballs have sold for hundreds to over $1,500. Antiques know how pushpin a cap die error, coin struck with a die stuck on top. These can often reach $100 to $500 plus. Antiques know how off-center strikes and die breaks. Collectors pay premium. Some errors are worth tens to hundreds of dollars depending on severity. Not all errors equals millions, but some equals big money. What's realistically possible? 6:01 to 8 o'clock. Now let's get honest. Most 1975 pennies are not suddenly worth millions. That kind of market value exists only in ultra-rare coins, like a tiny handful of preserved proofs or unique mint anomalies that are verified and graded by trusted labs. Insert clip about trainwreck mistakes versus real errors. Even though some articles online suggest pennies can be worth millions, that usually refers to historic exceptions, like special commemorative sets or extremely rare coins at major auctions, not ordinary 1975 cents. AP News: how to check your penny for value. 8:01 to 10 o'clock. So how do you know what you really have? Here's your checklist. Look at the date and mint mark. No mark equals Philadelphia. D equals Denver. S equals San Francisco. Rarest.org magnifying glass tilted right. Step 2. Inspect for doubled letters or numbers. Magnifying glass tilted right. Step 3. Check edges for off-center or unusual shapes. Magnifying glass tilted right. Step 4. Compare with known error photos online. Magnifying glass tilted right. Step 5. If you think it's rare, get it graded by PCGS or NGC. That's what makes serious money at auction. Selling your penny. Tips and tricks. 10:01 to 11:30. If you think you do have something rare, don't just list it on eBay with a guess. Here's what serious sellers do. Round pushpin a get it graded. A third-party grading dramatically increases trust. Round pushpin a photograph your coin in high resolution. Good photos sell better. Round pushpin, use auction houses or dedicated coin forums. Serious buyers lurk there. Remember, condition plus rarity equals value. A common penny won't make a million, but a certified rare error might be worth several $1,000s or more. Coin trackers, so next time you're sorting through old change, slow down when you see a 1975 penny. You might just be sitting on a treasure instead of tossing it away. Smiling face with smiling eyes money bag. If you enjoyed this video and want more coin treasure tips, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below if you find a rare penny in your pocket. Hey coin hunters and treasure seekers. What if I told you that a coin you probably have lying around in a jar, drawer, or old billfold could be worth not just dollars, but tens of thousands, even close to six figures? Asterisk, stick with me because today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about rare coins in American history, the 1970 Lincoln penny. Why this coin matters. Most Lincoln pennies made after 1965 are common. Billions were minted. But some pennies slipped through the cracks with errors, rare strikes, or unique characteristics that make them prize-worthy today. And one of the most intriguing is the 1970 Lincoln penny. Collectors are literally paying tens of thousands, even close to $100,000 plus for the very best examples. Bar chart on-screen graphic, 1970 Lincoln penny, normal versus rare, the story behind the 1970 penny explains with images/animations. Let's rewind to 1970. The United States Mint was producing millions of regular Lincoln cents, the small, plain ones we all know and love. But coins aren't always perfect. Tiny errors, like doubled dies, misaligned strikes, or weak impressions, can turn everyday coins into collector gold. Light bulb, one of the most sought-after versions, is a proof-like strike or struck on wrong planchet, which makes certain 1970 pennies extremely rare. Pushpin fact: a high-grade, flawless 1970 Lincoln penny has sold at auction for around $99,640. That's almost 100,000 times its face value. What to look for? Rare features. Here are the key things you need to check on your 1970 penny. White heavy checkmark, mint mark location. Look near the year for D, Denver, or no mark, Philadelphia. White heavy checkmark, strike quality. Is it ultra sharp and mirror-like? White heavy checkmark, errors, double dies, incomplete strikes, off-center. These can skyrocket value. White heavy checkmark, condition matters. The smoother the surface, the higher the grade, and the more money it can command. If it looks particularly beautiful with crisp details and no wear, don't spend another minute, show it to a qualified coin grader. Real auction examples. Just last year, collectors paid big money for top-tier 1970 pennies. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC with perfect or near-perfect ratings fetch tens of thousands of dollars, and in one case nearly $100,000. Asterisk, 1970 Lincoln penny, auction highlights, high grade, MS 67 plus. $90,000 plus, unusual strike/error, $10,000 to $50,000 range, typical worn coin. 1 cent. Should you sell or hold? Okay, if you do find a 1970 penny that looks special, now what? First, don't rush to eBay or Facebook Marketplace. Get a professional evaluation. There are certified graders who can authenticate and grade your coin properly. A high grade can add tens of thousands of dollars to its value. Collectors pay top dollar for certified coins, and serious sellers get serious money at auction. Why people are finding these coins? Lots of older coins are still hidden in personal collections, safety deposit boxes, and family heirlooms, and many people don't even know what they have. That's why we're telling you right now. Check your pennies before you spend them, sell them, or toss them. So go check those old coins, especially any 1970 Lincoln pennies you've forgotten about. You could have cash sitting in your hands instead of spare change in a jar. Hey coin hunters! What if I told you the penny you found in your old jar could be worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars? Today we're diving deep into the 1965 Lincoln penny, one of the most common sense ever made. But with a twist. You'll soon learn how some collectors are paying serious money for rare versions, and how you can check your coins right now. The story of the 1965 penny. The 1965 Lincoln penny was produced during a time when the U.S. Mint was trying to keep coins moving in circulation. Over 1.49 billion of them were made, making it one of the most common pennies ever. Coin trackers. In most years, coins have mint marks like D or S, indicating Denver or San Francisco, but in 1965 none had mint marks on purpose. Coinidentifier.com. Most of these coins are worth just face value, but some are much more valuable. And that's what we're getting into next. 1965 production. 1.49 billion. Why most 1965 pennies are not valuable. 2 to 3 o'clock. Let's be real. The typical 1965 penny in your drawer is worth about 1 to 2 cents today, even if it's in your pocket right now. The metal value is low, and collectors prefer coins in perfect condition. Coin trackers, but don't be discouraged. We're about to talk about the exceptions, the coins that are worth checking for, rare varieties that are worth money, 3 to 7 o'clock. Now here's where it gets interesting. There are rare and collectible 1965 pennies that can fetch $, but only under certain conditions. Yellow Circle 1. Top-graded uncirculated coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC in grades MS67 or higher, especially with original red color, can be worth hundreds or even thousands. Rarest.org backhand index pointing right, one example sold for about $7,600 at auction thanks to its incredible condition. Rarest.org. Error pennies. Some 1965 pennies have minting errors collectors love, including heavy checkmark off-center strikes, heavy checkmark clipped planchets, heavy checkmark double dies, heavy checkmark wrong planchet strikes, e.g., struck on a dime planchet. Antiques know-how +1. These errors can raise value dramatically, from hundreds to even a few $1,000s in rare cases. Antiques know-how. So while a regular 1965 penny is common, a rare error coin or an ultra-high-grade piece can be a collector's treasure. But remember, coins only reach high prices because collectors compete for them in auctions. Does that mean your penny is worth millions? 7 to 8 o'clock. You might have heard about pennies selling for millions, but let's be honest, that rarely applies to 1965 pennies. Most of the multimillion-dollar coin sales we see involve ultra-rare coins, historic rarities, or special commemorative sets, not ordinary circulation pennies. AP News. If you want a coin worth millions, you're usually looking at very limited and extremely scarce issues like the final penny struck before the government discontinued the penny altogether. Those sets alone fetched $16.76 million at auction recently. AP News. But again, that's not your everyday 1965 penny. How to check your penny and get it graded. 8 to 10 o'clock. Now here's what you should do. Clean hands, not the penny, never scrub the coin. It hurts value. Inspect closely for errors, doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual planchets. Compare to trusted guides and images online. If you think you've got something special, have it graded by PCGS, NGC, or Annex. Professional grading can make your coin easier to sell and often increase its value. If you have a jar of old coins, don't toss them. You might be sitting on something valuable, especially if you find a rare 1965 penny in top condition or with a mint error. Backhand index pointing right. Comment below if you want help identifying what you found. Share clear photos, and we'll take a look together. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because your next coin might just be worth a fortune. Heavy checkmark. This script keeps expectations realistic. Most 1965 pennies are not worth millions, but rare ones can still be worth serious money. Coin trackers. Heavy checkmark mentioning real auction records, like $7,600 sales, builds trust with your audience. Rarest.org. Heavy checkmark. You can always tailor earnings claims based on actual market data rather than speculation.